Yo, what it do? It's Thursday night, so you already know what it is. You hanging with the Standing 8 Live crew with your host, Jay Ford, a.k.a. The Capo, and my man, the DOC, better known as Latoris. What's good with you this evening, man, before we start giving that spiel on our sponsors, brother?
Oh, man, I'm good. Taking it easy. Feeling kind of gym warm, but proud to be here, man. It's always good to share the airways with my co-host. It's a blessing. Like, sometimes we take for granted how blessed we are to just sit here and talk about the sport we love, and not just that, but talk about it with somebody that we call and consider a friend. So, and even more so a brother. So,
that's what's
pretty
up,
good, man.
That's what's up. Well, as always, fans, we want to start this thing by thanking you as we kick it off. For everybody who's tuning in, big ups to our sponsor, Nutrition Plus. You can find them located at 7809 West Moore Street here in Indianapolis. If you check out Nutrition Plus, you can check them out online as well, just at The Nutrition Plus. And they are the weight loss and fitness specialists. They got all kind of specials for you to check out online, and just mention Standing 8 Live for your discounted rates. We also want to big up CBA Promotions, Says Boxing Academy, where also fitness is a way of life. They have more of a boxing format, though, for you in terms of your fitness needs, as well as various movable memberships in terms of on a monthly basis. So check out Said over there. It says Boxing Academy. Good people, man. Right? Ain't that right,
Shout out to Said, man. I be checking him out. He be out there. He look like he been in business forever. It be looking like boot camp. He be having him out there running. It look like a good workout. And the thing to know for that, my co-host did mention that it was boxing oriented, but it's like gender friendly, age friendly.
No,
it's something for everybody, no matter your workout level of expertise, and then we know that boxing is one of the best workouts you can get.
Right.
So check out Nutrition Plus and CBA's gym. Both fantastic places. It's not like we just talking blindly because we cool with them. Both fantastic places with fantastic people there.
Absolutely. And also a big ups to our final lead sponsor, Conceited Nobody, which is an entertainment podcast that can be found on all your various platforms on Tuesday night. If you want to know about the news currently with the spin of urban intellect, I'm gonna just put it like that. Am I okay in saying that? The facts with an urban intellect, you know what I mean? You need to check out the Conceited Nobody, man. They cover everything, whether they're talking politics and the fray that it may cause, or they're talking current events in terms of mistreatment of people of color. I'm going to just say it like that, people of color. Or it's just something off the wall, whether it be NBA news. Man, it's just your podcast.
It's a gumbo. It's
good. Hey, good.
About.
There you go. Good point right there, man. It's a gumbo of topics of today. So be sure to check them out. They air on 7 p.m. on Tuesdays on Spotify. You can catch them on iHeart. They everywhere. They everywhere like air. You know what I mean? So you better catch them.
Bars.
Tuesday night. You know what I mean? Also, excuse me. Shit, my fault. On 8. Also, big ups to UBF Boxing, Glove to Face, and the Ringside.biz, as well as all our other various supporters, whether they are gyms like Bad Boys Boxing and Patrick Hutchinson, Four Champs Promotions, just everybody who's rocking with us, man. You know what I mean? Absolutely. We appreciate everybody's time and effort. Before we get too far into the show, you know how we like to do with this day in boxing history. We're flashing back to January 21st, 1978. Roberto Duran became the undisputed world lightweight champion in a 12-round TKO win over Esteban de Jesus at the Caesars Palace in Las Vegas. Fans, I don't need to tell y'all about Roberto Duran. You know what I mean? I feel like I shouldn't have to go that deep. In terms of this day in boxing, though, this was where he started to cement his legacy. This was one of those fights that propelled him on to that career that led him to becoming the third boxer in history to win world titles in 4 weight classes. And I know we kind of sneeze at weight classes and things nowadays in terms of boxers that may start at 126 or 130 and just climb their way through and find certain titles to attain. But when you think about Roberto Duran and just the fact of 4 weight classes in terms of that era of boxing, does it give you any more prestige, or it just is what it is? I mean, sometimes you go up and down in weight and you win various titles.
I always say a lot that people romanticize the older fighters, the older generations. We act like they drank lead, piss fire. And some of it's warranted, especially back in like the 30s and 20s where they would fight every other week with smaller gloves and a limited knowledge of like exactly what is going on health-wise. But with a case like this, Roberto Duran or any other fighter back in this time who was going to multiple weight classes, it was a lot tougher and a lot different. They didn't have the half, if you want to, you know what I'm saying, call it that, the juniors.
Right.
It was welterweight, then middleweight. You had to make that jump. And I think that these are the people who were really, could be considered pound for pound greats. A knock on a person from that era, which is Marvin Hagler, is he only fought at that 1 weight class.
Right.
And I think that was historically out of the big 4, as they're commonly referred to in that era. Anybody who knows boxing knows exactly what I'm talking about. All of them ventured to different weight classes outside of him. Just dialing back to Roberto Duran. Roberto Duran, he's historically known to a lot of people as the greatest lightweight ever.
Agreed.
He ended up campaigning, if I'm not mistaken, at light heavyweight. Did he go up that high? It was either, because he ended up getting beat by Iran Barkley, I believe. Who was it? I might be mixing people up, but I know that he went up high.
He climbed high from where he started.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't want to misquote you, but I do believe if it ain't quite light heavyweight, man, it was damn near close.
Yeah.
But it goes back to what you're saying in terms of what fighters did during that era. Whether that meant fighting the next top guy, you know what I'm saying? Even if the money necessarily wouldn't have been right, fans. You know, I think sometimes we get so caught up in the business end of things, and I respect that, because at the end of the day, you do want to be paid as an athlete or as an individual. I don't give a fuck what your job title is. You want to feel like you're being compensated, whether or not you're fully being compensated or not. You know what I'm saying? So I get that part of it, but I also feel like those business decisions, as they like to say nowadays in time, is something that is relevant. And so from a fan aspect, we don't always see those great nights in boxing being made. Sometimes we catch it in that aftermath. We catch the after party of boxing, meaning a fighter falls short of some certain expectation and or superstardom by having a pitfall, whether that be a bad performance or a loss. I mean, once again, we've talked about this on this show previously, with the difference in between UFC losses and boxing losses. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I mean, there's truly a distinct difference in terms of the marketing and the money, how the money can come back around. I'll say it that way, fans, because sometimes, excuse me, a fighter can take a loss in boxing and truly take a really big dip. Right. And not only in his purse, but in his ranking and everything that he has to do to climb back up to get that contender level that he may have been at.
Right.
He or she.
Right. And just for clarification, he went up to super middleweight. To where, I mean, he fought till he was 49. Yeah. A phenomenal fighter, man, and he's a great ambassador for the sport. He, I think he had a film made after him. Came out about 4 years ago. Yep. Fist of Stone.
Fist of Stone. That's right.
He came from that era where you can lose, and not just lose, but you can get knocked out brutally as he did against Tommy Hearns and still come back and, you know what I'm saying, be respected in this game. Boxing is an unforgiving sport. I think sometimes we as fans are often, you know what I'm saying, a little bit harder on fighters than we, you know what I'm saying? Because, and I say we, me myself, I talk crazy about fighters sometimes, man, but it's just the passion of the fan. When you sit back, you reflect, and you think about the hard work that these fighters put in, whether they are a club fighter from your city or an all-time great fighter like Roberto Duran, you always have to get that respect, man.
Absolutely. And do you think sometimes when you think about the sport of boxing, and we're not going to harp too long on this day in boxing history because we do have a guest that is going to be appearing via telephone, but do you feel like sometimes that as we look at the scope of boxing now, sometimes things are lost in the transition, meaning the work done in the trenches, meaning there was no social media, meaning, you know what I mean, even some of those big paydays for some of those fighters, when you look at the history of it, in terms of what the fights mean now today and what they were compensated or what the level of the game was, do you feel like just sometimes that feeds into the skip over?
When you say skip over, what exactly do you mean?
Well, just or brush over, where it's so much in the now with boxing that the then is like, unless you're really one of those that dig into the crates.
Because these are people who are immortalized in the game.
Okay.
Again, we say it often, I say it often, that this era is over because we'll never, ever have fighters who were, in a way, deified by the sport. So I think that the legends are part of history. You know what I'm saying? And I've said it again, I don't see modern day legends being created because these fighters from that era had a mystique towards them. When Roberto Duran retired, he put out a salsa CD. Can you imagine you fucking...
Are you serious? I didn't know that shit, man.
Can you imagine you on Instagram, you seeing Roberto Duran doing salsa? And
was he singing and shit?
I have no
right.
idea.
I'm just trying to picture like
never in my life ever heard of salsa CD.
Like, damn.
I don't know like salsa sauce. But the it's that mystique, you know what I'm saying? Like we wouldn't have wanted to see him doing that stuff because we had, you know what I'm saying? It's just that mystique from that era, you know what I'm saying? Like I always felt it was weird to see Marvin Hagler doing his commercial and stuff where he sings so eloquent and shit. I didn't know he was gonna move to France after he got robbed at the Sugar Ray. But it's these fighters, they had so many layers to them. And I don't knock today's fighters, and because they are, you know what I'm saying, able to diversify themselves or whatever. But in that era, man, we wanted to see fighters fight. And so that's what leads to their mystique, I believe.
Okay. So just let me, before we move on into our interview and take this brief break, you're basically saying the times are gone in terms of certain legendary status.
It's over.
If I'm following what you're saying in a certain summary, you know what I'm saying, of those comments. Like I mean,
world, not even just in boxing.
Just period.
Listen,
we've seen the greatness.
There's no more legends going to be created.
We've seen the greatness.
Everything too common. You know what I'm saying? When it was just inauguration of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, the first thing they was talking about was their playlist. Like what they had Kendrick Lamar. You know, they didn't want to listen to Kendrick Lamar, MF Doom, but it's just that everybody wants to be accepted by everybody. There's no mystique in basketball, football, because everybody feel like they can do it. When I said you can argue.
Right.
Jeff Mayweather was trying to argue with me the other day on Instagram.
Big ups to Jeff.
Shout out to Jeff. Jeff
been a couple times on the show.
Shout out to Jeff. I fuck with Jeff, but Jeff was arguing with me because he was saying that Martin Luther King did more for me than I ever did for myself. He was on his little Martin Luther King high from this week. You know, Martin Luther King is a person who's adored by many people. And what it was, he took a statement that I made on his post out of, like he was gung-ho about Martin Luther King. I mean, it is what it is. I respect Martin Luther King. But for you to take time out to tell me that a motherfucker who died 50 years ago did more for me than I did for myself, it just kills any, you know what I'm saying, that. In 1990, I would have never argued with a boxing trainer. You see what I'm saying? Which I didn't argue with, but
no, but I'm
just
feel
saying,
okay.
Like, you can argue with
what
anybody.
the platform can entail.
Yeah.
In terms of interaction,
everybody's too common. Like people who ought to looked at like they was somebody special. Now see you around here arguing with Boosie. You trying to bully Boosie.
But I on the flip side of that, and I want to get moving, like I said, because we do have a guest this evening, but just in regards to the respect of exactly what we're talking about, time, eras, and shit. Jeff's a little older than you and I.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, is it more the fact that he's closer to being entrenched in that legacy?
No, it's just
that he seems to be more valid. And I don't know the comments. I'm just throwing. I'm out here fishing. Like
real quick. My statement was somebody said something about Martin Luther King fought for equality, and I said that equality is a weak man's ambition. And what I mean that's really self-explanatory. But to explain it to anybody who don't understand, like nobody wants to be equal to the next person. As a competitor, as a man, you want to be first. You want to be top of the food chain. And I think it's you in a headlock. Like a motherfucker got you in a headlock when you say, let's start again. You know what I'm saying? So if you in a headlock, of course you were like, oh, let's start again.
So you feel like
really, nobody wants to be so-called equal. Everybody wants to be top of the food chain, but you want a fair chance. You know what I'm saying? And
so that's what I was about to just ask.
People don't understand that. People think, real quick before we move on, because I do want to move on, a sign of ignorance and equality is when you seen a bunch of people who were saying shit like, if those was black people storming the Capitol building, they would have got shot. And so the ignorance and the equality statement is you wanted to see those white people get shot.
All the way down to even a criminal level or whatever.
Yeah, it's ignorant. It don't.
I got what you're saying. I guess my thought, and once again, we want to move on. But as we talk about like the context and maybe what his context of equality was in the spectrum of maybe what his level of what he was putting it in. I'm just saying, equality the basic.
Equality isn't a fluid. It's not a fluid word where you can adjust the meaning to it. Equal is equal. It's 50-50. It's I get it. You got it. That's what equality is.
I understand.
So when I say equality,
like when you're being that, and it is a literal term. I'm not here to debate. I guess what I'm asking is sometimes when people use terms, whether they know the definitions or not, when you use it in terms of context of history and or placement of a situation. When I think, at least when I was younger, when it was somebody said equality with Martin Luther King, the first thing it equaled to me, a lot of this was some of my grandfather's, teaching of other black separation and whatever. It was just the fact of almost books. It almost became very analytical before I understood the bigger spectrum of equality. I get what you're saying. I guess what I'm meaning is the context sometimes, and I'm not saying
a grown man almost
Martin
60
Luther
should
King
have the same understanding.
Simple-minded.
At 60, you should have the same resolve or the same, ambition that you had when you were 6.
Understood.
And so, again, man, it was the thing is how gung ho he was, and my point is I don't give a shit about how he felt about it. I'm sure he don't give a shit how I felt about it. But my point is that it's too common. In the 90s, I'd have looked at Jeff Mayweather like he was a superstar, and now we sitting here having a debate about a misunderstanding, and it's nothing personal against him. I'm just showing you how
common.
Yeah, how you can argue with anybody on the internet. So.
Right, but I mean the commonality.
And like we would have never seen nobody talk about Muhammad Ali can't read the way they try to do fluid. You know what I'm saying? Because it's too much like.
I'm seeing you giving them. I see it.
Social media creates too much parody to me. It gives people a false sense of success where somebody can get 100,000 followers and think that they equal to somebody who's really accomplished something in life. Like when you get a fighter like Floyd Mayweather, who is historically one of the most accomplished athletes on earth, not even just boxers, but athletes, somebody who worked super hard, somebody who took their family and friends out of, some dire situations and put them in positions to succeed. Who in fact made Jeff a person who's viable enough for me to even want to talk to or interview at one point, based on his, even pushing that talent and family out to the forefront. You can have somebody who's never accomplished anything in life, who go to a job they fucking hate, who got children in the house that can't fucking read themselves, but they got a social media following and they feel like they can go against somebody who's actually accomplished something. And that's what I mean with the parody and shit.
Okay.
And that's why it takes away from the mystique of today, because sometimes these people who have accomplished something will reach back and argue with somebody for no fucking reason. And it's just because everybody in the same room, so to speak,
can do it.
Yeah.
They can reach you.
Yeah.
I got that. I get what you're saying. Like, I could never have reached Janet Jackson.
Right.
Now, whether it's Janet Jackson or not, but if I wanted to look her up on the internet, you know what I mean?
You might catch her, she mad at the bars or something.
You know what I mean? You told me to go pick up the cheesecake. I don't know, but I don't need no job, Janet.
Right.
No, I'm lying. I really do. No, I'm bullshitting. Fans, man, just bear with us one quick second. We are going to give Donald the Bulldog Ward a call, speak with him about his most recent win here in Mexico during these COVID times, as well as his career. All right, yo, what's up, everybody? We are back after that brief break. We are here with Donald the Bulldog Ward. He's coming off a fresh win, January 16, 2021, across the border in Mexico. Before we dig into all that shit, you know what I'm saying? Say what's up to the fans. What's up, Donald, man? How you doing, young brother?
Man, what's up, people, man? It's the Bulldog, man. I'm just here. Hell, man, honest, man, privileged, man, to be on your show. What's up to the world, man?
Hey, that's what's up. We appreciate you sharing your time, man. For some of the fans who may not know, you know what I mean, you're not new to the game of boxing. However, you're someone who's, so to speak, you've rejuvenated your career. You know what I'm saying? Revitalized.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? Bounce back. You know what I mean? All that good shit. As we talk about this recent win in Mexico, KO victory over Edgar Soto. Take us through that recent day before I take you backwards.
You didn't take us what?
I said take us through that recent win before I take the fans backwards in terms of your career. Take us through that weekend in Mexico against Edgar. KO victory.
Oh man, it was hectic. It was hectic. You know, Trump always got people pissed off at us. So they did not like us at all. We were shown a little love because we were from the USA. Like, oh my God, man, it was nervous being out there just because of Trump ass.
What?
Oh man.
I was gonna say, well, just kind of elaborate on that. You know what I mean? Just in terms of, not that this is no political shit by any means, but just in terms of a fighter fighting during COVID. Mexico's one of the spots where action is happening. You know what I mean? So just talk about how it feels and fuck like Nipsey and them said, fuck Donald Trump, you know what I mean? But just on the real as a fighter going into those murky waters during COVID.
Oh man, man, you had to be so cautious, man. I had to constantly use German, man, I had to keep the mask chain, and like it was just a real. It was a hard, it was a great experience, but you had to be so cautious of everything and everybody. It was a new environment, never been there so before, so it was very, very, very new to us.
That's what's up. So talk about your team and traveling across. You know what I mean? What were some of the precautions that you had to endure to be legit for the fight? Whether that be your corner man, you know, not only taking the COVID test, but whatever daily check-ins they may have had. Because I think some fans are misconstrued in the fact of just because Mexican fights are happening, or excuse me, fights in Mexico are happening, that they're not happening with any sort of regulation and or stringent COVID activity.
Oh yeah, dog. They was very strict on everything. They was very strict on everything. You had to take the blood COVID test, man. Everybody had to stay 6 feet away from each other, man. They were getting out a lot of hand sanitizer. And me and the team, we just stayed within our limits of each other. So it was like we had to be cautious of everybody else. And like you already know how crazy it is. Now you can't cough or sneeze without somebody got COVID.
Right.
Every time we heard somebody cough, we balled up beside each other like
oh
it
shit.
It was very nerve-wracking, man. Because a lot of people going out like to the stores and all that. A lot of people didn't care about it. Just like over here in the USA, a lot of people didn't care about it. You know, being not wearing your mask and all that. We was like, oh hell no.
Right.
Like, hell no, we didn't do it.
Right. Now I can dig that. So as we speaking on this trip across this border, you know what I mean? 31 years old, you're not new to the game, you know what I'm saying? You've made your pro debut roughly 8 years ago, you know what I'm saying? Take us through this win of where the Bulldog is now in terms of what you did in Mexico against Edgar. Because a lot of fans don't realize when you go to Mexico, it's either got to damn near be a KO or it's a no-go. Because them judges usually they'll let you cross that border, eat that food and that carne asada, all good, all you want to. You know what I mean? But about snatching that win, it's usually some diversity and or adversity that a fighter has to go through. So just kind of tell fans what it was like when you stepped into the ring and what was your mindset.
Oh man, it was like warming up when we was warming up. You know, the promoter and a lot of other fighters, they thought the guy was going to be real tough for me. And they thought he was going to just make me look bad. And man, warming up, I didn't show everything because it was like kind of out in the open. So his team was able to see me warm up. So I was just playing it off like I couldn't miss good. I was just trying to warm up, wasn't trying to show them everything and none of that. I wouldn't even fight. I wouldn't even miss in my normal thing. I was just live with it. I was just face down, just even me just warming up. And so they was like, man, I don't know if this is gonna be a good one for him tonight. I don't think he gonna be able to handle it. And we were just laughing. We were like, okay. Me and my trainer, we were like, okay. We can go ahead. I told him, I'm gonna get this shit over with. Cause I'm ready to eat. And I'm gonna get back home too. So I was like, I'm gonna get this shit over with. Cause they thinking the wrong goddamn thing. Think I'm gonna come down here and lay down. No. Fuck no. So I had to go in there just balls to the wall, man, and try to take his ass out, which I did.
Absolutely.
Within about 20 seconds.
Absolutely. And I saw it was a quick KO victory. My question to you is, you know what I mean, as people look at your record, do you think sometimes that's the draw? Meaning they look at it and they say, okay, this young man will come to fight, but this is our fight. Do you think sometimes they step into some shit? I guess that's what I'm asking you. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Every time. Like I get promoters trying to lowball me, you know, because of my record and all that, and the thing about it, like, to be truthfully honest and brutally honest, I only lost 2 fights. To be real, if we being real and being honest about shit, I only lost 2 fights, dude. But you know what I'm saying? When you don't have the money behind you and all the resources and the judges behind you and the referee behind you, hey, you have no choice but to go in there and knock these folks out. Then coming in on the B side all the time, you have no other choice but to come and knock these folks out. At least knock them down 2 or 3 times during the fight. Because going in on the B side, man, it's very hell and rough. Like, a lot of people's careers got torn up because of the bullshit. The bullshit we go through. We train and kill ourselves, try to kill ourselves every damn day going in the gym. Taking punishment towards our sparring partners, killing our legs, killing our hands. So just to go in and get robbed, that is so fucking disrespectful. And then they wonder why one must be ready to hurt the ref. You ready to punch the other teammates or something, or whoop the judge.
Right.
Like,
Right.
It'd be unfair. It'd be unfair. Like in Mexico, this last fight, they were giving all the Mexican fighters most all around. And a lot of US, it was probably about 3 or 4 USA fights out there. And all of the Mexicans, they was giving them all around. Really, they wasn't winning. It was one judge. I ain't gonna say all judges. It was one judge that was, you know, doing. Like, no, it's my people.
He was doing his job.
He's around.
I mean, he was doing his job. And let me ask you this. As you've been around, you know what I mean? You fought guys like Tony Harrison, you know what I mean? You fought on bigger cards. And I think fans mistake when they say undercard. You see what I'm saying? They're not giving the props to the fact. I don't give a fuck what my order is in the fight. You know what I'm saying? Whether I'm number 5 fight, number 1 fight, fuck the fans. I'm around game. You know what I'm saying? And when I say that, I think sometimes fighters miss that. So you get so caught up in yourself or your team or that particular victory. And I'm not talking about you directly. I'm just saying younger fighters, they're missing soaking in what you're around. Whether whoever that headliner is or whoever that guy is trying to do a bounce back. Motherfucker used to be a world titleist. He lost his shit. It don't fucking matter. You see what I'm saying? He's got something to give. So I ask you, and I say that to say this. You know what I mean? You fought the Tony Harrisons. You're 31 years of age. You know what I mean? We're dealing with COVID, and we can only assume 2021 is also going to be a different type of year for the fight game. What is one of Donald Ward, a.k.a. the Bulldog's goal in 2021? What is one of the goals?
Man. Well, as far as that, our goal is, man, to stay ready, stay trained. You know, my trainer, Tristan Todd, here from Mississippi City, and my manager, Monday Flowers, he's also from Mississippi City, but resides in Florida. You know, we trying to get on as many shows as we can, Now, right now we're back on the rebuild. We back. I'm back, finally back on the rebuild. Finally have somebody in my corner, man. Shout out to my guy, William Flowers, Flower Power Boxing. He's helping me out, and he's on my ass about a lot of stuff, and my trainer be on my ass about a lot. Oh God. And so right now we just whatever shows they have in here, we trying to get on every show. We trying to get on every show because my record do not match my skill.
Okay, and that's what
don't match my skill at all.
And that's what I want to ask you about, champ. You know what I mean? As we start to, move on in this interview, and of course my big dog, my co-host, is gonna have some questions as well. But we're talking about a lot of your fights happening in the southern region, whether that be in Tunica, Mississippi. You know what I'm saying? Memphis. You know what I mean? Those sorts of buildings. Do you feel like that region is respected enough in terms of not only you, but other fighters from that particular area? Whether it be, we talking Memphis 10, we talking Nashville, we talking Alabama. Do you feel like the South gets that credit sometimes of those? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, we do not.
Okay.
No, we do not, because they want to come down here and find people. They want to come down here like on the West Coast, East Coast. They want to come down here and find a fighter of the East. So it's like you have a lot of watered down fighters down here at times. They want to just get in, just say they get in. They fight. And then you have some that's like, they don't care. But we have some dogs down here like this. That's the main. Like we got a number 7 ranked amateur heavyweight that's 1-0 right now. D'Angelo Leachman. And man, we have some dogs at Desert that have fought down there everybody. But it's just a lot. It's just a lot, man. We don't have the resources as the West Coast and the East Coast. We don't have nobody looking out for us right now.
Well, talk about that. Is that something that you feel like the market itself is overlooked? Fuck the talent. You see what I'm saying? Like, I know Deontay Wilder is from the South in Alabama. That's a different whirlwind. I'm asking you in terms of being a fighter from that era or that cloud or level of, I'm here and I'm active, you know what I'm saying, but I'm not getting any noise. Sometimes, what do you feel like is the ingredient that may be missing from that particular element of boxing for fighters from your region?
Well, it starts off with the promoters and the people that throwing the shows down here. But you have right now, you have 116 that's throwing shows and adding a lot of Memphis fighters on there as well. And then you have Matt Young throwing shows in Nashville, and he's been adding a lot of people, and he's throwing shows in Mississippi. Brian Young hasn't did a show in a while though, since January 25th of last year. But everybody comes now. They starting to add a lot of the Memphis fighters on the shows now. Which I wish they would have that. They had been doing it. A lot of people been doing that before. A lot of us wouldn't be in the predicament that we in now.
Hey, what's up? This is Latour. Hey, what's up, man? This is Latour. I got 3 questions for you. My first question is, when you was coming up, was there any particular fighter that you looked up to, or you admired watching?
Mike Tyson, Anthony Camacho, Mayweather, Chris Nassim, Sugar Ray Leonard.
So you pretty much was entertaining fighters, people who, I mean, that's a pretty diverse crowd right there, whether it's knockout or somebody who just got a polished game like Floyd. Is there anybody like on your radar right now? Like, if anybody within your weight range that you could fight right now, is there anybody that you would
I
choose
would fight
to fight?
anybody at 46. It don't even matter.
Yeah.
I would go for me. I would go for Ryan Garcia, Tank, Lomachenko. He's at 135. I'm at 140 now. Adrian Broner. Them people I go for.
Yeah.
Them people I go for right now.
And then, real quick, one more question. And because I was looking at your record, and I'm gonna give my co-host. He got a question for you. I was looking at some of the names you fought, and as he stated, Tony Harrison. That was a name that stood out, but a name that stood out even more to me was Patrick Day, the fighter that was he died from results of a fight in 2019 in Charles Cornwell. When you heard about that, knowing that you had shared the ring with him, did that give you like any kind of like feelings? Like, not necessarily any particular feelings, but did you think about, did it give you any pause to make you think about, of course you in the ring all the time, so you know exactly how dangerous it is, but did it make you like just, did it give you any kind of trepidation or anything, make you want to quit, slow down or anything?
It didn't make me want to quit, but it had me thinking about our fight a lot.
Yeah.
Like, after he passed away, they finally put our fight on the internet. And so it had me thinking about our fight a lot, and I was like, yeah, he did take a lot. He showed was just a good head move. He just didn't move his head as much.
Yeah.
And I was like, it made me sad, because it's somebody I shared the ring with. You know, we became cool after the fact. You know.
Yeah.
Because both of us risking our lives, and you know what we got to do daily.
Yeah. That's what's up, man. Because I mean, I just know, like, it back when Emil Griffin, after he killed the guy in the ring, they said he was never the same. Of course, you wasn't the person who fought him that night, but I was just wondering, did it change your approach to the game? You said he didn't have a lot of head movement. Did it make you more focused on your defense? Because it's a fight you can't be safe in.
Right.
But I always, I never liked getting hit.
Yeah.
So I would just always be on my defense so much, to the point, like, I almost just make a miss and never make them pay. So I used to just dodging so good, I get caught up in the dodging good and not making them pay.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And this is Jay Ford, aka the Capo again. This is my last question as we start to wrap up this interview. And once again, we appreciate your time down at work, because we know it's shit you can be doing. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
But as you talk about your career and everything, what is one thing you feel like you can change right now to help propel you into the future? Regardless of where that future may be for you, world title or whatever, what is one thing you feel like you can change and or control to propel you into the future?
Me is getting in shape, getting in way better shape, being ready at all times. Because I never know if I keep going on. When I keep going on this winning streak, I never know when I'll be a replacement call for either a major title or somewhat or a thing. So we just staying ready so we don't have to get ready. So these people, I'm just letting everybody know this. Like, this is my big run. This is my big run, and I ain't showing no mercy to no fucking body. I will be your friend after the fight. I will be your friend after the fight. It's no more being nice, speaking to you. It's none of that no more. Because I'm tired of getting railroaded and getting fights taken away from me that I know for sure that I won. So it's no love to nobody at 140. I don't care. God hey, I love you. I love you out the fight.
That's what's up. And I got one more question too, man. How you get the nickname Bulldog?
Oh man. My coach in Jonesboro, Arkansas, George Robinson, he gave me the name because he seen how big I used to be. 200 pounds when I first started boxing. I was 200 pounds. I was a big running back. So, and then I played for Arkansas, Bulldog.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my high school, my alma mater, man.
Shout out to the Bulldogs, from the Bulldog.
From the Bulldog. From the Bulldog. That's what's up.
You know it. And so once he seen my style of fighting, and he seen how big and burly I was, that's when he gave me the name. And how mean I was. I always looked mean the whole time we was born. I didn't smile.
Well, look, man, we really appreciate you. And we say this sincerely that while you on this run, that you get something out of it that make you smile.
Yes, right on.
Yeah, I appreciate it all. I appreciate y'all inviting me on the show, man. It's much love and respect to y'all, man.
Anytime you got anything you want to talk about boxing, you know what I'm saying, you want to talk about the show, just reach out to us. Because we are here for fighters. We not a show that where we trying to be all in the videos, all in the corner. We out here for the fighters, man. We really appreciate you and the people who do what you do. And any way we can support you, just let us know.
Yes, sir. I want to give a shout out to all my sponsors, man. Wingman Telecom out of Houston, BTMG. From Marion, Arkansas, man. I want to give a shout out to Will Moore, Body Art Tattoo. I want to give a shout out to all of my family, all my friends and fans, and my kids, most definitely my kids, man. Much love to them, and shout out to my trainers. Oh my God, they be on my ass, y'all. Y'all just
say their names, man. Say them trainers' names. Let them know.
My trainer, Tristan Todd, man. Tristan, Mr. TNT Todd, man, out of Memphis, Tennessee. My guys, Monday Flowers, man. My manager, and my trainer. So, man, much love to them. And also my other trainer, Patrick Commander, man. All of, Tristan and Patrick Commander representing Memphis 10 and the Restoration Boxing Gym, man. And I shout out to all my sparring partners, man, people that helped me get ready for my fights, man. Much love to all of them.
Well, look, man, show them some big time love by going to Standing A Live and taking this link, which is live right now. We should have told you at the beginning of the show, but you can share it with them and they can hear these shout-outs along with your interview.
All right, man. I'm going to share this link. Y'all need to go like this page, man. Give shouts out to these guys for giving me an opportunity, man, giving me this time, to speak my story, man, and say what I have to say about the sport, man. Much love to y'all, man.
Hey, we appreciate it, big dog. But we need an official drop. Not y'all. Standing A Live from Donald Ward. We need one of them. See, I'm going to just take you down there, champ. I'm just going to take you there, man. Just one of them. Because we appreciate you.
You say you need official what?
Standing A Live from Donald Ward.
Oh, yeah, man. Introducing everybody. What's up, man? We here on the Standing 8 Live show. Man, nothing but love and respect to Jason Ford, man. For you reaching out to me about this. To both of y'all, man, I really thank y'all.
Hey, we thank you, and we thank that drop. I almost think you used to be a football player and a rapper, and we appreciate everything, man.
Shout out to everybody down in Memphis.
Straight up. And big ups to you and your career, champ. Fuck COVID. Keep knocking motherfuckers out.
Man, that's all it's about.
That's what's up, man. Standing A Live. Appreciate you, champ.
All right.
You don't really be knowing how to get off. You want to say bye, but he a fighter. You don't want to say
Nah,
bye.
you can't say bye.
Bye.
You can't say bye.
You gotta say all right.
We was taught real.
Yeah.
We can't say bye.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But big ups to Donald Ward and him sharing time with us, the Bulldog. You know what I mean? I think did we get his handles? I know he shouted out his trainers and everybody, but it was a good interview. You know what I mean?
I like his energy, man. And I ain't saying that like in some weird, you know what I'm saying, just the same type of stuff.
Right.
You know, usually when you do the phone interviews and stuff, it's all you. But I I just wanted to ask something. I felt compelled to talk to him, man. So I wish him the best of his career. You know what I'm saying? I hope that he get what he wants.
Absolutely. And I hope all fighters get what they want. Sometimes what they want ain't what is real. But it's all right. The Standard 8 Live Reel continues. Ooh!
Bars.
Give him that shit.
Entendres and all that.
January 23rd, Showtime. Angelo Leo versus Stephen Fulton, WBO Junior Featherweight title. Who you got and why? I think we probably got the same fucking guy. Ooh, who you got and why? I think we got the same motherfucking guy.
I got Angelo.
No shit. Oh, we don't have the same.
I only said that because I knew you.
Okay,
because no, it's gonna be a nice fight, man. I think it was postponed recently due to a positive COVID test. It's a good fight, man. I'm gonna really go with Stephen Fulton. I think he's a polished boxer. Both of them decent fighters, man. I think it's a showcase fight for both of them to see who want to make that next step, take that next step to the next level. They both been anxious to get it on. Two young dudes, man.
It's a fight to watch.
It's the bantamweight division,
and it's a fight to watch, right?
Yeah.
We're talking junior featherweight. So for fans that's under 126 pounds,
my old gotta go.
You know what I mean? And what I mean by that is, if you haven't watched some of those lighter weight fights, a lot of punches thrown. Don't look at Comedy Box. You know what I mean? Look at the face of the fox. And what I mean by the face of the fox is what the damage shows. Because sometimes in those lighter fights, it still sees damage. It might take 8-9 rounds.
These fighters, I'm gonna tell you, man, I'm gonna be honest, man, I'm not the casual fan who look for knockouts, but I do. When you that fucking little, I want to see you cracking. I want to see, like, they down there with Luis Neary, who lights people up. I want to see some action. You know, you're going to see the speed, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to see mosquitoes. I don't want to see mosquitoes. I want to see bees.
You going to see that?
I want to see mosquito bites.
And do that shit.
Yeah. Devin Alexander type noises.
I'm going to go even different speed. They give you that motherfucking... Serena Williams and Venus. They get that Serena Williams, like they hitting the serve. You know what I mean?
It's gonna be a good fight, though.
It is gonna be an excellent fight.
And you are.
I'm
gonna take Stephen Fulton though by unanimous decision.
Ooh,
matter of fact, I hate doing a split decision. I'm going decision.
You don't think it's gonna be a stoppage?
Nope.
I think my man Angelo runs his face into certain things. And what I mean by that, fans, is the uppercut and the step off right hook or step off straight right hand. I think those will be punches that will be seen in this particular fight. Now, will it end the fight? I gotta be so wrong, because I've been wrong so many times. But we're both picking Fulton to be the winner in that particular fight. The undercard will be nice and entertaining as well. Excuse me, in terms of action, right?
Who an undercard?
Man, you gonna make me murder somebody's name tonight. I'm gonna go R. Aline. How you like that shit, R. Aline? You know your first name. Shit.
Oh, yeah, that's
yeah.
Race, Aleem, and Vic Policia.
Yeah.
Shout out to my buddy Wood, Bite Down Boxing. He had them on his show.
The interview, right?
They both out there talking that noise and stuff. Decent interviews. I think it's gonna be a decent show, man. Hey, I ain't know this was on that card.
Yeah, this is January 23rd.
Oh, okay.
So now you acting like you don't know what our show's about. Y'all see that, fans? My co-host, he be knowing shit I don't know.
He be able to get me hit.
And then on the flip side, he say some shit like, "Oh shit, this is what I'm saying." Nah, in all honesty,
I definitely
fans,
gotta catch this.
this is gonna be an excellent show.
Definitely.
Showtime. Whether you got Fire Stick or that old shit.
Stephen Fulton stay on Showbox.
Stephen Fulton's a quality fighter, and I think he also gives that. He got the smile. You know what I mean? That other package they try and sell in terms of the fighter, and I'm not saying he's not quality. Once again, fans, you have been tuned in to Standing A Live. Big ups to Donald Ward, the Bulldog, for sharing his time with us tonight. Big ups to our sponsors, Nutrition Plus, CBA Promotions, as well as the Conceited Nobody, and UBF Boxing. The Ringside.biz. Glove to face.
Everybody.
Every motherfucking body. And if you're not included, you can always hit us on our Facebook page. Also, be sure to tune in to our YouTube live videos. Standing A Live is coming to your living room without a broom. Stay tuned.